Hi everyone, Miss Burdacki here, and we're in Launch Lesson 3. I'm going to show you how to find your teacher's feedback for assignments done in Google Classroom and in Google Classroom with Kami. The first thing that I want to show you is that to find your graded assignments, you'll go to Classwork, and then you need to hit View Assignment. I'm in the teacher's view, so I can't actually mimic that, but that's what do you need to do. Okay, so first we're going to look at an assignment that was graded with Google Classroom. This should look familiar to you. Your teachers have probably been doing this for years, but just a refresher, when you click on a highlighted part of your assignment, there's a comment, and this comment says, it's important to introduce the issue you're writing about, but give more context. Who is discussing this issue and where? So this was an essay written a couple of years ago by one of my students about why youth shouldn't play football. And, you know, it was a good start, but she really just needed to add a few things. So I'm going to act as if I'm the student and add the details that are missing. So an issue that is being discussed. Okay, where? It's happening probably in many countries, but I know for sure it's happening in the US. If kids should be playing football. Okay, so I've answered the where, and now I need to answer the who. So who's discussing this issue? Okay, I would say if we're talking about high school football, definitely the high school football players, definitely their coaches, definitely the parents, and maybe there's other people, but I think those three will be fine for now. So an issue that is being discussed by high school football players, coaches, and parents. Okay, so then I'm just going to reread this sentence to see if it makes sense. An issue that is being discussed by high school football players, coaches, and parents in the US is if kids should be playing football. Okay, to me, that sounds a lot better. I find that reading stuff out loud really helps me to revise my work. So I'm happy with this, and I'm going to click the check just to mark as resolved and hide it. Okay, and then I have one more comment on this paragraph. And the comment says, great claim with 3 reasons. So this is a positive comment. I don't need to do anything with it. The claim was, it is clear that youth should not play football because there are a lot of injuries, it's expensive, and it interferes with academics. So cool, I'm feeling good about my writing, and I can resolve this by clicking the checkbox. Okay, so if this were the only paragraph that I needed to write for this assignment, and my assignment was to revise based on my teacher's feedback, then at this point, I would simply click Turn In. I happen to have the share button because this is my former student, not my current student, but you guys would just hit Turn In. Okay. So now we are going to look at something a little bit fancier that I'm still learning myself. And this is when you get an assignment that's been graded. It's been annotated actually and graded using Kami. So this is actually the assignment that you guys had to do in the last session. And there's an example student who did the work, and then as the teacher, I gave feedback. Okay, so one thing that is probably new to you, it's definitely new to me, is a voice or audio comment. And I attempted to do that. So if I click on this highlighted part, oh, that's not what I wanted to do. So as the student, you would get this back and you would press play to hear what I had to say about your work. The first two annotations look great. The second two annotations could use some revision, and then just add one more. Okay, so that was my comment for this student's entire piece. And now we're going to go into the details of why I gave that feedback. Your teachers might give you audio comments and they might not, but I wanted you to know how to do it. So we have got the first annotation. If we click here, says, my basketball coach always told me to be resilient after we had a bad game, so I knew it was a good quality to have. It's interesting that humor and laughter can help develop resilience. And as the teacher, I just wrote nice annotation. This is quality work, and nothing needs to be revised here. So we can move on to the next annotation, which was for this line here. Having a more positive outlook is a good coping strategy for stressful situations. And as the teacher, I just wrote agreed. That's another positive comment. I don't have to do anything with that. Okay, and then we'll go down to this one. This comment, or this annotation rather, says, if you laugh at your problems, they are like gone. And it corresponds to this quote here. Laughter yoga founder Dr. Madan Kataria puts it, laughter doesn't necessarily solve a problem, but it helps dissolve it. So I really feel like this student kind of missed the mark on this annotation. And so my comment was, I'm not sure this is what Mr. Kataria means. Reread this paragraph for clarification. So at this point, I would expect this student to go into the article and reread the entire paragraph, paying a special attention to the last sentence, and then to revise his annotation. So as I'm rereading it, it sounds like Dr. Kataria is saying that laughter might help deal with your problems, but it won't make them go away. Okay, moving on to the next annotation. Okay, so this annotation is for this highlighted bit. When we laugh together, oxytocin gives us instant relief for anxious thoughts. It does this by signaling the release of feel-good neurotransmitters, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. Wow, a lot of scientific words that personally I don't know the exact meaning to. This student said science is really cool. And, you know, as the teacher, I agree. But my reply was, well, science is really cool. Can you elaborate on why you think so? How does this science support how when families make social media videos, it's a positive experience? And if we were to go back to the directions for this assignment, you can see that the student was supposed to, as you were, highlight sentences that supported how families were having a positive experience by making social media videos. So really, this student just needs to elaborate. He might say something like, science is really cool because it's proven that feel-good neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin give us instant relief when we laugh. I find this very interesting. Okay, so just looking for a little more elaboration there. And then if we scroll down, it looks like the student highlighted one more sentence, but didn't write an annotation. So he didn't quite have 5 annotations, and that was the expectation. So as the teacher, I wrote, is this something you agree with, find interesting, or have a question about? Include one last annotation here. So this would be an easy fix. The student could write something like, you know, I agree that making funny social media videos can change a challenging situation into something fun, which has a positive effect on everyone involved. Okay, so basically, as the student, I need to write one more annotation. At this point, once I feel like I have my 5 strong annotations, and I've listened to what my teacher has either written or spoken in an audio comment, I'm good to go, and I can resubmit this or turn it in again. I actually can't do that right now because I'm on the teacher view, but I think you guys know how to do that. Okay, so go ahead and open up the assignments that you turned in. If you did the assignment, you should have feedback from your teacher, and go ahead and revise and make your work as good as you possibly can. Thanks so much.